CTV family. Catch us live on your TV screen.
Second day of spring, how are you enjoying it? Hopefully that...
Can I correct you? Spring only starts on the 22nd of September, Bazalwane. We have these conversations every single year.
Okay, if it's the 1st of September, it's spring day. Welcome to it, ladies and gentlemen. If you just joined us, well, we are here to empower women, girl child, gather around with your siblings, with your very best friends, funda one or two things about being empowered, because it's very important to collect skills right now so that when you grow an inch higher, you'll know exactly what you're about.
Exactly. Baratang is in the building, and let me tell you, when I said we have a tech genius in the studio, we genuinely have a tech genius. When it comes to coding, she's probably the person you speak to. And I'm not saying this because she's in the studio. I'm saying this because my queen has won so many awards when it comes to technology as well as coding, and she has decided that she's going to start something in 2003 that is titled Girls Hype, and she's been helping women ever since. So Baratang, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the show. And actually, hashtag Woman of the Month in September. I'm naming you Woman of the Month for the rest of September because you're doing so great.
I accept.
Yes, girl. Talk us through Baratang Coding Academy, establishment, and why did you think of such a thing instead of being a selfish woman and you thought, here's a gap here and I want to fill it with my skills and knowledge?
So Girl Hype teaches women and girls how to code. And the reason I started it was my own personal experience. I thought it needed some oomph. You know, like I felt like this is it. Tech is going to change the future and we need to do something. So instead I created a job, a title, I put my everything into it. Like I literally gave it my all. Like I looked at it as an organization, as a job, as a movement that needed to happen so that I can speak about it, because I didn't have boardrooms or anything. If there was a boardroom, there were hashtags, there was no such at the time. So I had to make sure that me as a person becomes the voice, the face for what I was talking about, that I went to a township school. It was the first time I touched a computer when I got to university. My teachers were speaking Tswana most of the time, so English was just a challenge. So there were so many challenges that I thought they are not necessary. Opportunities are not equal for us as South Africans, and the achievement becomes different when we get to university.
And then you took that and you were like, actually, I'm going to do something and I'm going to make a change. But before we talk about the change, you walk me through the first time you actually was like, I want to do coding. Like, what about technology and coding made you say, this is what I want to do? Or was it just that thing? It's like, oh, I'm good at it, so I might as well do coding.
So I started coding by default. I did not know anything about coding. I studied industrial psychology, finished university, and so what happened was I used to go to the internet shop and create materials for Girl Hype, because I started with, I'm going to teach young girls how to use computers in schools. And that evolved into me spending 3-4 months with the guy at the internet shop who studied computer science and built a very good relationship. And I used to tell him every day what I'm doing. If I'm struggling with something, I'll say to him, come help me. And one day he said to me, why don't you build a website? And I said, I don't know how to do that. And he said, I can show you how to build one. In 1 hour, he showed me how to build a website on front page at the time. So it's like a drag and drop system, but you still have a low coding element into it. I just fell in love with it. So he was showing me on his machine, and it had two elements to it. So on the other side, you could see the code, what I'm typing onto the computer, the Word document. But on the other side, because it was front page, it was converting it into a code, and that blew my mind. I literally, when I clicked publish, I was like, this is what I'm going to teach girls. I changed the whole curriculum to, we're going to do this. Within 8 months into it, I had learned CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and I'm obsessed. Till this day, you know, coding is very addictive.
It's like your secret obsession.
I wish I had the same mindset, because you talked to me about coding. I'm like, ooh, me? No, not today. You had an aim back in 2003 to reach at least 2,000 girls. It's been a while since then. On top of your head, how many girls do you think you have touched already?
I sometimes have a phobia of saying more than 1 million, but I think we did, especially through our partners when we worked with UN, when we worked with Africa Code Week, when we worked with different kind of schools. So we partner with other organizations. So I don't count that.
Yeah.
But for our numbers, we are like around 600,000.
What a wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Baratang Miya is not going anywhere. We're celebrating women and women empowerment until the hour 5. She's still going to be here. But when we return, we've got Kwela, women who are also in the same philanthropy path where they're helping a girl growing, climbing, and reaching the top. Right now, it's time for Berita with Jiki Zinto. Don't go anywhere because there's still more of Ekse right here on Cape Town Television. Welcome to Thursday.
CTV family.